Yo, it's me, Doncho. Welcome back to the Hideout. For those that actually constantly come here and pay attention to my videos, you'll notice that I don't have on my glasses. So they're not broken or anything. They're right here. They're right here. They're perfectly fine. Right, they're right here. I just don't feel like wearing them. They've been getting on my nerve. You know, the quarantine situation going on, COVID. My hair is like crazy, and so like they don't fit on my ears. It's just a lot. So I don't feel like wearing them. So I'm taking them off. So if you see squinting, this is just my disclaimer. If you see me doing, I'm sorry. I can't see, but I'd rather, occasionally squint and not notice I'm doing it than constantly keep readjusting my glasses because they've been getting on my nerve all day. But you guys aren't here to hear me vent about my 4-eye problem. We're here to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 110. Shibuya Arc part 28. How the hell are we on part 28? Honestly, we got here really fast, but Toji's here again to show out. And it was just fantastic. But before we get into that, you know the drill. Intro. So, welcome back. Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 110, Shibuya Incident, part 28. We are 28 chapters into this arc. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like we're still in the beginning stages, so it has me wondering how long Akutami is going. I think we might be going for 50 parts. I mean, we got the 30 so smoothly. Another 20 could probably come and we don't even realize it. And I honestly, now to think about it, 20 chapters, is this going to wrap up in 20 chapters? I don't know. It doesn't really necessarily feel like it. But before we get into where that could go, we got to talk about the actual content of the chapter that we read, guys. Like, chapter 110 is amazing. I mean, we just got Toji acting literally like a madman because he's nothing but a puppet. And so let's just talk about how it starts. And first and foremost, we could talk about Akutami's paneling, where it's upside down, where Toji's coming up out. Technically, if we're looking at it right side up, Toji's coming technically up. You know what I'm saying? He's coming up, he's in the air, and Megumi and Nanami are like, what the, you know what I'm saying? But as we saw it in the paneling Akutami chose, it's upside down. So Toji's actually going downwards. I find that such an amazing, it's so cool how Akutami knows how to do these type of things within their paneling, his paneling, where he can make us understand that, yes, this character is technically jumping in the sky, but this is a character we know as a negative, and so they're going down in the depths. He is down in the depths, going deeper, not only into a realm that is water-based, which is going down in the depths, but then you can also talk about down in the depths as in he's just becoming a mindless puppet, as we get later explanation about what was going on with the Granny's ability. And that's really interesting. Screaming Naruto reanimation, but better. But I don't want to, but that's really the vibe that I'm really getting off of this, and it's just crazy. So he comes in and instantly reaches that union and snatches the shit out of Maki's hand. I mean, that for Maki's reaction. Okay, so when he comes out, we gotta look at everybody's reaction. Everybody like, what the fuck? Megumi go, who is that? Which is the most ironic, funny, hilarious, what the hell is about to happen thing. And then you have Maki confused, a human sorcerer, super confused. And then you got Dagon talking about, wait, they weren't trying to escape. They were trying to bring somebody else in to help. Him confused, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And then Nobito, Toji? Bro, and I know Akutami didn't make a thing out of it and make it where we're sitting there and we get this dialogue, but just seeing his face and his reaction and saying Toji, you know what I'm saying? And then then Toji, the puppet looking at him, Toji looking at him, and then he's and it just goes straight ready to this box. Now it's starting to make me wonder, right? When Toji jumped into, because as we get the dialogue talking about how the granny did the ability and it's supposed to have a time limit, and the grandson didn't have cursed energy, which is why they were doing that thing, which makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. The grandson not having any cursed energy and then swallowing the stuff to be able to have somebody else's who is a sorcerer come into them so that they can have cursed techniques. That's why they will pull the body in. That's really, really cool. That's such a very subtle, nasty technique from that granny, but it's such an extremely cool technique. And it's Gege basically saying to us, your body is what holds your innate technique. That's kind of what I picked up from that, because if the body of the grandson he does not have cursed energy, but then was able to pull other sorcerers inside of him, which it seems like they've done that before. You get what I'm saying? That's how he's able to fight. He didn't have cursed energy before. You know what I'm saying? That's what I find extremely, extremely interesting. So now I kind of want to know more about the grandson and where she got him from. And the reason why I keep saying grandson, if you don't know, is that in the volume 11, little explanation things of the grandma, someone posted translations saying that the grandma basically talks about the grandson was a kid that she kidnapped and then like made him start playing that grandson role over these years. The bitch is sick. So like that's like already blowing my mind that Akutami even added that type of aspect of a character for that villain. And then just thinking about that, that's what this granny has been using this young kid for, because she can't do it herself anymore. I find that very, very, very cool. I wonder if it's maybe her blood he has to swallow to do that, or is he swallowing the blood of? No, I think it's only the blood of. I don't know. I wonder if it's the blood of her that he was swallowing, or if it was the blood of Toji. He has to swallow the blood of whoever he's trying to take. That's something else I would like Akutami to dive into if we're going to find more characters who can do seance abilities like that. That's a very interesting way to bring that into it. I love that occult fashion of doing that. And so then beyond just that, we find with that, we find out that he is a mindless puppet. And with him being a mindless puppet, it just makes me wonder, like, is it because he's in this domain that he became so forcefully puppetized? I may be reaching here, but because it feels like him jumping into that wasn't a midst of like, it felt like there was more personality when that happened. And the personality disappeared once it arrived inside the domain, if that makes sense. It turned into just a, you know what I'm saying? Like, but before it felt like a, I'm here, bitches, I'm about to flex, and then. So it makes me wonder, was Akutami just maybe being a little dramatic in the introduction of this doll, or was there some personality, and then the Toji coming into this domain caused it to become, you know, overpowered with this will of taking out the strongest, which will be the owner of the domain? Because at first I'm thinking, okay, the strongest person, so we know that Dagon is stronger than Nobito. Like in a 1v1, Nobito will lose to Dagon. I don't think that. I could be wrong entirely, because Nobito himself said, oh, in this day and age where it takes two cursed grade 1 sorcerer to take you out, when we're living in some hard times. I could be entirely wrong, but he's 71 years old, and I feel like if he really put in the smoke, he could take Dagon out by himself. But maybe that's me reaching, maybe I'm being optimistic. Maybe he would come out with, it would not be like a mid-diff, it'd probably be a high diff. Excuse me, so I could be entirely wrong. You know, but in my head, I'm thinking maybe it isn't that necessarily Dagon is the dead ass, like we look at him and he's the strongest, even though he probably could be based on cursed energy alone. But maybe because he is the owner of the majority of the domain that is expanded right now, that the doll is directly like, I gotta take you out. Now it has me wondering if that happens. And as we're seeing, Toji is taking out Dagon like it's nothing. He's smacking him left and right. He's moving way faster than he is. He's moving, traversing on the water like it's normal, like Dagon said. It's absolutely crazy just how amazing this doll Toji is. And it's scary. It's extremely scary, because us getting the explanation that this doll Toji has to be beat to stop running like this. Who's going to beat it? That's why I'm starting to think, if the domain collapses and Megumi's domain stays up, instinctively it'll go after Megumi, maybe not Nobito. And the reason why I say instinctively it will go after Megumi is because the person who has the domain expanded at that moment, you know, because it's their domain, because it's what's going on with their control, the doll's thinking you, because you know it's your domain. You're the strongest at the moment, right? Or I could be entirely wrong. Maybe Dagon himself is, and maybe, you know, just the strongest. And, you know, them being in this domain, maybe I'm wrong, it isn't affecting the doll just because Dagon's there. Maybe that's why the doll is like this. I generally think it's because of the domain. Because the eyes didn't go black until reaching inside the domain. His eyes were white. And then when he gets in the domain, they're black when he's fighting. I don't remember them did they go black when he killed the granny? I didn't go back and check. I apologize. I don't remember them turning black. If they do, okay, never mind then. That's whenever he initiates ready to attack. But if they did not go black, then that has me going with, okay, the personality was there until being in the strenuous situation of being within this domain. So if they defeat Dagon and both domains crash, will that make the doll like backtrack? Maybe it won't feel as overwhelmed by the cursed energy and making it instinctively fight because it's going rampant, even though it's an anomaly? Or is it too late? Now it's been set and now they have to fight, and instinctively he's going to go after Megumi because his domain is what's going to be in the most control. Now, what also begs the question, is Toji this powerful beating up Dagon right now because the guaranteed hit of his domain is not around? We have to remember that Nanami asks Megumi, are you still able to go in this chapter? And he says, yes. Can you still hold on? He says, yes. And that's because with him holding it, the no hit is gone. And why Dagon says, if I can stop them from doing this, I can get my no hit, I can kill them all. I don't think he'd be able to kill them all. But as he said, it wasn't until Megumi came in and expanded that his domain to stop Dagon's, they even opened up a chance. So that might be the entire truth. Within this expansion, there might not be a win for you, and that outside force needed to come in. And aside from diving into all of those crazy things, can we just gush over how amazing Akutami is doing right now? I mean, can we really talk about how just amazing this chapter was with the action, the sequence, the smoothness? Toji Madman was just beautiful to see, frying the fuck out that octopus. I mean, Dagon was just getting fucking fried. Like, it was so beautiful to see. And then the rubbing union to sharpen it. And then we got Nobito is just flexing, okay? When the Dagon says I have to stall, and he jumps in the air because he's stalling for time because he knows Megumi can't hold on too much longer. He can tell that he's weakening. And he jumps in the air to stall. And then again, because he must have forgot the first time, we see the most recent panel on the page before is Dagon looking in the background. You see Nobito, Megumi, Nanami, and Maki. And he jumps, you know what I'm saying? He goes by the thing and he jumps up in the air. And then we just, boom, see Nobito on top of him. Nobito's fast, bro. He's extremely fast. He's no joke. It's really impressive. Like, he's doing it like, he said, didn't you learn, motherfucker? And then Toji vaulting off of it. The gun tries to block, and then right here, right where the block can't. I mean, beautiful. Oh no, let's not forget the Maki moment. I don't want to skip over the Maki moment because that was beautiful. I mean, they're getting the explanation of Yu-Un, Play for Cloud, or Roman Cloud, however you want to explain it, how I talked about in the last video. If you saw my 108 and 109 discussion, I talked about how we were talking about how Yu-Un may not have a curse technique imbued. It just has that knockback. Well, that knockback is, we were correct but incorrect at the same time. I was wrong. It wasn't a knockback. It's just the strength. Whatever the strength of the user, Yu-Un's going to match. So Maki seeing Toji start walloping the Dagon and seeing so much power come from Yu-Un, that really put in perspective for Maki just how powerful the sorcerer she was watching was, and just how outclassed she was. And then her asking Nobito, "Oh man, who is that?" Because she knows she could tell he peeped. A ghost. We have no choice. Akutami, you have no choice, but no matter what happens after this, whether Toji, if Toji catches a body off of Nobito because the domain expands and he goes after Megumi next because Megumi has control of a domain, that'd be an extremely interesting thing. Him becoming a puppet, I think, has now killed any dialogue we may get. There's a chance. There's a chance that it didn't kill all the dialogue we may get. And you may get more, but maybe not directly from Toji. We may get Megumi killing his father in a pseudo fashion and then figuring out it's his father later. Or maybe figuring out it's his father and then killing his father, a pseudo version of his father. And maybe even in that moment of killing him, when the puppet is breaking down, and maybe he has that moment of realization, he has these last final words to Megumi. Ooh. Ooh. A second Toji death scene with him expressing how he felt directly to Megumi might hit, that might hit way harder than what I initially am thinking right now. Because Akutami knows how the way to make it very nuanced, but then very I'm thinking, yeah, but amazing chapter, you guys. Amazing chapter. So much is going on. I could talk for so long. I don't want to make this video too long because I want to, I love having room to breathe and things to be discussed about throughout the week. I'm making this the day the chapter dropped too, you guys. I'm back on trying to get back on my weekly. You guys stick with me, and I'm excited. I don't know if this is the end for Dagon. I'm kind of sad if it is, which is weird, but also exciting because that means Akutami is doing a good job of personifying these curses. But I'm really interested in what 111 is about to be. We got it next week. I'm wondering if Toji's about to turn on them. Hopefully we don't get we won't get a perspective switch. Not right now. Where's the fight ending? We gotta let this fight end. Akutami has a lot of big fights this arc. Ooh, this good stress. Akutami's excited. Akutami has to be excited drawing Jujutsu Kaisen because to put yourself through this much stress 100 and something chapters in, making such a big arc with all these big fights and big moments and doing it so seamlessly, I could tell Akutami's having fun and I'm having fun right with you. But yeah, there's so much going on. I'm excited, you guys. Look out for chapter 111 is coming soon. Like I said, please follow me at Doncho Hider if you guys don't. Once again, thank you guys so much for coming to the Hider. I really do appreciate everybody coming by. Please be safe out here. Watch out for the crazy people of this world. Thank you guys for coming to this space for Jujutsu Kaisen. If you have any questions, concerns, things you want to talk about, please hit me up at the bottom of the comment box. If you like this video, then you should like the video. You get what I'm saying? If you dislike the video, then you should dislike the video. If you like me, you should subscribe. And follow me on Twitter at Doncho Hideout. Thank you guys so much. And no, we're not doing 2 chapters regularly. People have been asking me that. No, we're not doing that. I'm trying to go back weekly. Sometimes I want to wait because it's fun. Sometimes I don't. But thank you guys. And once again, it's me, Doncho. Peace.